Welcome back to the sweatshop. Today we have a 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe 2-liter turbo currently in the bay. This thing needs an intercooler and a tune-up, so we're going to be giving it spark plugs, the genuine kind, and we're going to be giving it an air filter, the Fram type. That's it, folks. You're done. If only it was that easy. So this is really a quick job. It's quite easy here on the Hyundai. What you want to do is flip this tab up here, flip this tab up here. You're going to push the air filter box back just like that, and then pull this out like that. Once you pull it out like that, you can now slide your air filter out. The hardest part of changing the air filter in this particular vehicle is comparing it to the old one to make sure that it is the correct filter. What you must do is flip it like so, and there you go, friends. We are good. Now take your air filter, place it back into the slot gently, and slide her on down. If it binds up a little bit, push the air box towards the firewall. So slide your filter in, put this door back like so, push the filter down towards the door, put your hand like this underneath, pull up, and push this door down. On either side, it should slip in there relatively easy, and then put your clips back. Air filter done. The reason why we're replacing it is a mouse or some sort of creature has tried to make this its home. In the process, it's bore some holes through the air filter, so this is junk. Next step, pull this cover off. Now, the trickiest part of doing the spark plugs is getting the connectors off. The issue is specifically these things can seize in place. They're a real pain in the ass. So, be very gentle with them and take your time getting them off. This little gray piece is like a lock. You slide it back, you don't have to take it right off, and then what you need to do is get the black tab to come loose, but obviously it doesn't want to. And once you get the silver tab out of the way, that black tab is going to be a pain in the ass to get loose. So I like to use a little pick like that. Slide it up underneath, and there you go. Did you hear that click? That's what you want. Now just wiggle it back. Repeat the process for the other three. Don't stab yourself in the fucking hand. Now, before we go ahead and pull those coils out of the holes, what we're going to do is blow out the top of this cover here. Now, we have already seen evidence that some little rodent has been living in here. So if you pull those coils out and say something falls into the engine or between the spark plugs, getting that socket on could be a real pain in the ass. Now, blow it all out. We should mask up for this, but I'm in a bit of a rush. Here's a tech tip. You've got your 4 brand new plugs here. You've got these nice clean boxes. Before you go ahead and pull these plugs out, write the numbers down, 1 through 4, and then place the appropriate plug in box. That way, you can take a look at them if the customer complains about any potential issues or misfires after you've installed it, to see if maybe something was existing prior to. It also can tell you a lot about the car and the way it's running in a particular cylinder. Now, back to it. 10mm bolts here, just remove them. When taking the coils out, what I like to do is put them back into the same hole, that way you know. Now, when you do take them out, the best thing to look for here is any signs of oil or crap. So you look at the shaft of the coil where it goes into and on into the hole down onto the spark plugs. Just look for any residue cracking on that boot, and you'll know that you've got to replace it. These all look good. Next thing is spark plugs. This is a 5/8 plug, or 16 mil for you metric folks out there. Here's our first plug. Looks to be in good condition. I don't see anything wrong with it. Now, the reason why we're doing these plugs specifically is because it is scheduled maintenance. Now, good thing before you put the new plug in is compare it to the old plug. Make sure that it is the same. Compare the numbers. In this case, they are different because it's two different manufacturers, but this better be the right plug because it came from the dealership. So, those are always the key things to look for. You never want to just put plugs in blindly. Such a simple thing can make such a big difference in the way your car performs. So, be careful. Now, slide it into the hole nice and easy. Start it up by hand. Repeat the process for the other three. So, there you go. Put them in their appropriate boxes and don't throw them out. Remember, before you install, these things can be dropped, and if they do get dropped, it can change the gap, which will cause a misfire or other types of issues. So be sure to, again, inspect before you install. Now, as a technician, I usually keep the plugs around for a little bit unless they are complete crap, and then I toss them. If there are any issues, you can rectify them by putting in the old plugs, because he had no drivability issues in relations to spark. Thread it in and then you can run it up. Now get one of your favorite ratchets. Love these guys, can't seem to find them anymore. And what I usually do is do a 3/4 turn, and that's usually tight enough. Oh, looks like half with this one. Okay, now you can find out the torque spec online and torque your vehicle to the proper spec. I don't have the time to fish around online right now, or through Shopkey, that stupid program. I think Shopkey was made just to irritate you while looking for information on your particular vehicle. Reinstall the coils one by one. Now these should be absolutely clean because you do not want any dirt in there. Any dirt that can hold moisture can cause a misfire. And a misfire equals a headache, which nobody wants. 10 bolts. Okay. Now check them all by hand because battery operated tools can die. And if the battery is depleted, you won't get the same torque. Put those plugs back. Make sure you line them up nicely and you hear that nice snap. You don't want to bend one of those pins. Which pins? On the coil side, so I can't show you that. That click is so satisfying, isn't it? That's that, man. We're done. Put this sexy turbo cover back on the right way. Make sure you line it up. With the Hyundai, it kind of falls into place when you line it up, so you know. That's it. We are done. This turbo GDI now has a brand new air filter and spark plug, so it should run like a top. That's it for us in this video, folks. We will see you in the next one. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss one of my new videos. the farm sign. Next step, readjust the camera so people can see what the fuck I'm doing in there.